Hey kids, we are going to read a book called Bear's Busy Family. This week we're talking about families and working together with families, and this book just seemed perfect. Let's see, it is written by Stella Blackstone and illustrated by Debbie Harder. Let's see what it's about. Bear's Busy Family. This is the title page. Looks like the cover a little bit. It's just another place where they tell the title and the illustrator and the author. I wonder what they're going to do in this story. It says it's his busy family. I wonder what they're going to be busy doing. What do you think they will be busy doing? Smell the bread my grandma bakes. Does your grandma bake bread? Mine used to bake bread. It was so yummy. All right, smell the bread my grandma bakes. Touch the bowls my grandpa makes. Did you hear those rhyming words, bakes and makes? Taste the fish my uncle brings. Oh, he caught fish with a fishing pole. Hear the songs my auntie sings. Brings and sings are rhyming words. See the dress my mommy sews. Smell the flowers my daddy grows. Sows and grows are rhyming words. Touch the plums my sister picks. Taste the bowl my brother licks. Picks and licks are rhyming words. Hear the drums my cousins play. See the feast for baby's birthday. Play and day are rhyming words. My family tree. So if you notice at the top of the tree, there's grandma and grandpa. And then under them come their children, which was daddy, mommy, and they have their baby, and then uncle and auntie. And then under that comes their children, which is sister, brother, and the character that was just reading the story, she's there. And then the cousins. There are 3 cousins. We're going to go back just a second and discuss the story some more. All right, we're back at the very beginning of the book where it says, smell the bread my grandma bakes. Now, if you look closely at the bread that grandma's holding, do you see all these little swirly lines? That is to show, that's the illustrator's way when he was drawing the pictures to show that something from where you see those swirlies, that's something that smells good. And so it helps you to infer from that that there's something there that we can smell. And then you look and you see, oh, bread. Well, then we look and we see, oh, grandma's in the kitchen. So grandma is making bread. And look, you can see the stove back there in the back because that's where we bake bread, is in the stove. So maybe for someone, for a child who can't read the words, looking at the pictures is a really good way to still see what's going on in the story. So I know you guys can't read the words that say, smell the bread my grandma bakes, but you can just look at the pictures and see. You can see bread and she's walking away from the oven. So you can infer that she was just cooking something in the oven. And by those little swirly lines, you can see that there's something coming, a smell from what was just made. And it helps you to understand that someone just baked some bread and it looks like they're taking it over to the table, and you see on the table there's a cutting board and a knife, and that's so that grandma can set the bread down and she can cut it into slices. Look at all of, I see so many different things in this on this page that we've already learned about. Look at the floor. Do you see the AB pattern in the floor? We've got for the square tiles on the floor, there's blue, yellow, blue, yellow for an AB pattern. And if you look back on the table, do you see the pot where the flowers are? We've got a blue line and a white line. Blue, white, blue, white. And one more. Look above the window. See, look on top of the window. Do you see those little lines? That looks like it's a curtain. We've got red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white. That's another AB pattern. And there's so many shapes in here. Look, the red cabinets are shaped like rectangles, and the little knobs are yellow. They are circles. Wow. The oven is shaped like a square. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, wait, one more thing. If you notice, for this page, smell the bread grandma bakes. This book talks about the five senses also. Remember, the five senses are see, smell, taste, hear, and touch. So this one was smell the bread grandma bakes. We smell with our nose. Touch the bowls my grandpa makes. Here's the other sense, touch with your fingers. So grandpa is making bowls. It looks like he's making them maybe out of clay. Oh my goodness, I see more AB patterns here. Look at the bowls. The first bowl that you see here that's red with green dots. It's got black and white stripes. Black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white. And then there's another bowl that's black and white. We've got black line, white line, black line, white line. Looks like he's made a lot of bowls, hasn't he? And they're so creative. He used so many different nice colors. This page is very colorful, isn't it? All right, taste the fish my uncle brings. There's another sense. We taste with our mouth, with our tongue. So uncle is out there fishing to bring food home to eat. Do you see the fish? There's still some in the water. Do you see the fish that's still in the water that's over there by uncle? He's looking up at uncle. He looks skeptical. He looks a little bit afraid because he's afraid he's going to be next. Because you remember what happens when you take a fish out of the water, they can't breathe. So that fish looks scared because he doesn't want to go out into that water. Yeah, uncle caught a big fish. You can see, look at uncle. You can see his tongue. He's like, he's excited. He gets to eat that fish. Hopefully he'll go home and cook it first though, right? Hear the songs my auntie sings. We hear with our ears. Now I've told you guys before a way to tell. So if you are not able to read the words on the pages of the books you are reading, see the musical notes. You can see where her mouth is open and those little lines show that there's sound coming out of her mouth. And then you can see the musical notes, and that shows the reader that someone is singing or that music is playing. Looks like she is singing something that makes her happy. You can see the birds are in the background flying. The cat looks happy. The cat must like her song, and the birds must like her song. Oh my goodness, girls and boys, do you see the rug with an AB pattern? I see orange with a purple stripe, orange with a purple stripe, orange with a purple stripe. And look at her stockings. That's another word for socks. They're long socks. They're called stockings. Look at her stockings on the bed. We have a black line with a white line. Black, white, black, white, black, white. It's another AB pattern. And look at the mirror she's looking at herself in. It's shaped like our shape this week, which is a rectangle. And the rug is shaped like a rectangle too. Isn't that cool? See the dress my mommy sews? We see with our eyes. She is sewing. See her sewing machine? She is sewing a dress. I wonder if she's sewing a dress for herself or maybe for her sister. I wonder who she's going to sew that dress for. Look at the lampshade and the lamp. Both have a different AB pattern on them. We've got orange, yellow, orange, yellow, orange, yellow, orange, yellow on the shade. And then see this part of the lamp here? It's got black and white, black and white, black and white, black and white. And it looks like the quilt over there on the purple chair. Do you see the quilt? We see orange and yellow, orange and yellow, orange and yellow squares. Smell the flowers my daddy grows. We smell with our nose. So daddy's out there planting flowers. He planted a lot of flowers, didn't he? Look at all those beautiful flowers. And of course, there's a beautiful pot there for one of the flowers with an AB pattern, black, white, black, white, black, white lines. So cool. Touch the plums my sister picks. We touch with our fingers, our hands. So it looks like right now the sister is picking plums. The plums are a purple color. See her? She's on the ladder. She's up in the tree picking the purple plums. It looks like the tree next to her maybe it's a pear tree. Pears are normally a light green color, but they probably are not ripe yet. So maybe they're still this orange color. And then it looks like we have an apple tree on the left. And then it looks like maybe another plum tree on the far left. Taste the bowl my brother licks. We taste with our mouth, our tongue. Do you ever lick the bowl after someone has baked something? It's not very healthy to do that sometimes if there's raw eggs in the bowl, but Miss Jordan can't help herself. She loves to lick the bowl. She gets a lot of joy from that, actually. But it's always good to use a spoon and not just lick out of the bowl with your tongue, but it's a bear, so I guess they don't know any better. Let's see, do we see any AB patterns? I see one. I see the big cup that the flowers are in. I see a blue stripe and a white stripe, a blue stripe and a white stripe, a blue stripe. And what would come next after the blue stripe in an AB pattern? A white stripe. Hear the drums my cousins play. We hear with our ears. I see 3 cousins playing the drums. Do you see them? One is playing a really big drum, and one has a drum that's small enough to put around his neck. It's just hanging there, right there, so he can have his hands free to beat the drum. Let's see. I see a lot of AB patterns, kids. Oh my goodness. I see the first cousin with his shirt. We've got a white stripe, a blue stripe, white, blue, white, blue, white, blue on his shirt. Look at his drum. I see a red triangle, a blue triangle, a red, a blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. What would come next after blue? red. And then on the cousin's drum where he's wearing it around his neck, I see red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white. And then on the last drum, there's two sets of AB patterns. There is at the top part, there's a black triangle, a white triangle, a black, a white, a black, a white. And if you notice, some of those triangles are upside down, but it doesn't matter if the shape is upside down or not. It's still whatever the shape is. So those are still triangles, even though they're upside down. They could even be sideways and they would still be triangles. And then look at the bottom of his drum. I see a red line, a yellow line, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. And oh my goodness, I see what is probably another cousin peeking in the window, watching his other cousins. Do you see it? And there's a pattern at the top of that window, the curtain. We see red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white. See the feast for baby's birthday. A feast is when you eat a whole lot of food. So they're having a feast, which means they probably, let's see what kind of foods they have. There's the bread that was being baked. Remember at the beginning of the story? There's the bread. I see a big pie. I see a cake. I see the fish. Remember they were catching fish? So they were catching the fish for the feast, for the birthday party. And she was baking the bread for the feast for the birthday party. And there's cake, pie. Oh my goodness. They look like, oh, and I see musical notes up at the top. That means someone's playing music. That looks like a really fun feast and a fun family get together. Now, if you notice, when we were talking about friends the last few weeks, we talked a lot about collaborating with your friends, which means working together with your friends. It works the same way with families. Families have to collaborate. They have to work together and help each other. And it looks like this family did that, doesn't it? Someone went to catch the fish for the food. Someone was baking the bread. Everyone was doing their own part to help and to work together as a family, and that's really important for families to do. You should help each other and try and make life easier for each other. That's what families do. When you care about people, that's what you do. You help them and you all work together, and it helps you to get things done a lot faster. Instead of, remember, like the little red hen had to do everything independently all by herself, and that wasn't good. Her people were not helping her and collaborating with her to help her get things done quickly, and it took her a long time to do everything all by herself. So this family here did a great job with collaborating, and they worked together well, and everything came together really well for the feast, didn't it? It looks like the baby's having a birthday, and they're going to celebrate that baby's birthday as a family together. And that's it, the end. That was a great book.